Good evening, everybody. This is Model Railroad Addict coming to you back down here at the layout room with layout update video number 7. It's been a while. I think mid-August was the last update video I had on here. Got a little gung-ho on getting the layout started here in the new house, and actually ended up not even working on it for the last couple of months because I've been doing golfing just about every day I've been off work. The weather has turned south, well, turned cold here. I love golfing, but I'm not going to golf in 40 and 50 degree weather. That's what we've gotten here in the last week. This past Monday and Tuesday, I went golfing at Knightstown, Indiana, up there at Royal Highland Golf Course, and that's probably, barring any, maybe upper 60 to low 70 degree days left this year, which I doubt there are going to be any, was probably my last 2 rounds of golf for the season. Ended up golfing almost 70 times this year. Obviously, I love golf to golf that many. So now that the weather's turned to the cooler side, the indoor activities start to ramp up, and the trains are back in the forefront. So I believe in the last video I had on here, I should have probably went back and watched it, but see if my memory serves me right here. We were at the thing where I had sent out the option to see what scale I was going to run. It came back in scale, was the majority of the holders or viewers decision. So I'm still in that area. Haven't done, like I say, as you can see, the bench work is still pretty much at the same spot it was in the last video. The only thing is here recently I have went through, and like I said, I was going to start smoothing out some of the rough spots on the gaps in the plywood to smooth all that out. I have started doing so. Still just have this Kato Unitrack oval track and a small thing of cars up here. The only other thing that I've really done with the layout since I've done it is, if you remember in a previous video, this section here was about this from over in here was lower. We had a bad piece of wood there. I have since decided to fix that instead of try to work around it. Figured the bench work was at the stage where it was going to be easier to fix it now than try to work around it later. So I went ahead and did that. As you can see, we are now all level. My gap from there to there is the exact same height. I've actually got a piece that's built to go in there. I haven't put it in yet because I'm just not really wanting to have to duck under to get to this section back here. I've already got duck under to get into this section. I just don't really want to duck under, and I'm believing with the in-scale, I can easily do a double main turnaround and kind of come out. I was thinking about just doing a large single industry out here, and kind of just the double main line come around and kind of loop back around. And it looked like 4 main lines running down the back there, but and then it would come out and then circle through here and come back around. And I thought about having it kind of slope up and then curve around this way, back around the back, and then it would kind of S-curve back there and then go back around. It would be a fairly lengthy main line with me not cutting it across here and not having any track. My original plan was to have it come through here, back, and then it would cut across here and then come back around and go back through there, back around, S-curve here, back around, and then come back down through here again, and it would cross back over there again. That was my original main line intent. Don't know if I want to do it that way or not, because of the fact I just don't want the duck under right there. I do. Right there is the section that goes right here, and it fits in there nice and perfect. So I do have the section that's already made up. It's just whether I want to have a second, if I want to duck under to get into this section and this section. I haven't gone that route yet. Don't know if I'm going to do it. It's only about a 13-inch wide section, which is plenty wide enough for in-scale to run a double section main line through there. I thought about maybe making it a lift-out section, but my carpentry skills on building something like that, it would probably be more of a disaster for me than a help. So I haven't decided truly on that yet. I haven't even really gave it a whole lot of thought. Well, obviously I gave it some thought because I built the section, but I haven't gave some thought if I'm actually going to put it in or not. Yeah, but it's built and ready to go in if I do decide I want to go that route. The only other thing I haven't is the decision now. I was joined a Facebook group, In-Scale Railroaders on Facebook. I actually put a post up on there yesterday or this morning of the bench work progress, and I put a suggestion on there whether I should run the Kato Unitrack track system for my track, or if I should go ahead and do the road bed with the Flex Track and the probably, you know, number 8s, number 10 switches. I'm going to use as large a switch as I can find. I had a lot of guys leave several comments on there telling me to go with the Flex Track with the road bed, just because of the Kato track system is an awesome system, but I am severely restricted on my radius and my curves. And I think the biggest radius that I would go that I could run a double, I think they run a 15 inch and a 13 and something. That would be a larger. Now they do go a 19 and a 28 and something, but you really can't run those together the way I've seen. So it would be a 15 and whatever. And I've already kind of had some lines drawn on here as kind of doing some radiuses with some doing the road bed route. And I've got some pretty broad curves for N scale. Now, me modeling HO for the year or so I was used to run the 36 to 42 inch radius curves. Obviously, N scale, that would be a monstrous curve in N scale. These right now, I've got set in. They're gapped too far apart. I was just going to see where I was wanting to put them off the wall, how far off I was going to do. But these right now are 28 inch and on the inner, or on the 28 inch is the middle one. The one inside that's 25. The one outside of that is 32. I'm not real sure which one I'm going to run at. The 32 inch radius for an N scale would be a very nice looking radius curve, but like I say, I'm not real sure on that yet. The track hasn't. I've got an idea of what the track design is in my head. I'm not good at putting it on paper, but and drawing it out and those CAD systems for the computer, I've not had any luck using those. I've tried using the Atlas one, and it's more of a disaster for me than anything. The MTH one, I've used it when I did my O gauge, and it was still kind of a mess for me to use. So yeah, that's just out. I'm just going to probably do this free loaded, freelance, however you want to call it, freehand. Just do it as I go. That's why the Kato Unitrack was suggested to me, because I can easily snap it apart and change it and redo it to make things fit. But yet then I've been told with the Kato Unitrack, trying to get the things to fit just doesn't quite work, because you got to get the little pieces, the big pieces, the curves just right, and they say it's a lot of hassle. So right now I started leaning towards doing the Flex Track with the number 10, number 8 switches, but I haven't had any luck finding any of it. ModelTrainStuff.com, Train World, Hobbytown, eBay. I'm not having any luck finding switches or Flex Track anywhere. So road bed I can find no problem, but the track and the switches, I'm having a lot of difficulty. I'm looking at either the Code 55 Atlas switches, or if I could find the Insulated Frog Pico switches, or even Micro Engineering switches, I would go with them, but I'm just having a hard time finding any of it. So that's what's kind of got me to hold up. I do have this Kato track right now. It's a decent size oval, which is what I'm doing to run the trains on right now. As for the trains, I did buy a couple new pieces. I bought these 3 pieces the other day. I got them all 50% off up at the train store I've been going to. This was a, as you can see, this was a, it'll focus here. Trying to do this with my phone. It's a 4X Automax car, and it is right there. That's a really cool car. Picked that up for 20 bucks. I got another one here. This is a Chesapeake, Ohio covered hopper, and that's that little sucker right there. And if it'll focus on it, there we go. Got that. I got the new iPhone 5C. That's my new phone I've been using, and so far I love it. So it's just, here's a chassis system, 50 foot of the mill gondola, and that little guy's right there. I picked him up. Let's see, it was $16.98 for the gondola, so I got that for about $9, and it was $15.98 for that, so I got that for about $7.50 or $8. And then I picked this up, which is a right here. It's an SD70M number 1. It's an Athearn, and it's that guy right there. Picked him up for $49.95. My very first Athearn engine that I've purchased in N scale. I've had several in HO. That's my very first one in N scale. it's still kind of out. I'm glad I only paid 50 bucks for it. The one thing I have to say I do not like about this engine versus the Kato is I'm not sure how old this engine is, but there are no operating ditch lights on it. They are fake. I know Athearn is good at that on the ready-to-run engines and HO scale. Almost all of their ready-to-run engines are in that way. And as you see, this one doesn't say it's ready to run, just Athearn in, trains in miniature. It doesn't say it's a ready to run or anything. But wasn't real tickled when I seen that the ditch lights didn't work. I do have an SD70M in a Kato version coming in the mail from modeltrainstuff.com along with an AC4400. So I think maybe when I get the Kato version, I will do maybe a direct comparison here, shoot a video and compare the two units side by side. But like I say, right now with the Kato not having the operating ditch lights on it, or the Kato having the operating ditch lights and the Athearn not having the operating ditch lights, that was kind of, that caught me off guard. I thought they were going to have operating ditch lights. But other than that, the unit, the paint on it's really nice. It's a smooth runner. Pulls this line of cars I've got right here. I've got about 15 or 16 cars on it right now. And it pulls that line of cars with ease. In fact, here, I'll just pulls the line of cars with ease. So it runs quiet. It's not, it's not the shabby ad. I guess, not having the ditch lights ain't much to worry about. I may have it as a center unit and maybe a 3-engine consist, use it as a center unit, and not where it won't use the ditch lights. But it's a good run engine for 50 bucks, brand new in the box. I'm not going to complain about it. But this is basically, I just want to show the 3 things I got, let you know I'm still alive here. The golf season's over, so I will be coming back into this. Hopefully I can get this layout here, the rest of the bench work the tops put on here to get this finished, and then I'll decide whether to put this section in or not, and then start laying this, drawing out the track design on the bench work. Unless I decide to do the Kato, I'll just start buying the track and laying it out as I get it. If not, I may just go ahead and draw the lines and everything all out for the road bed if I decide to go with the road bed. Right now, I'm leaning towards the road bed, flex track, and switches. I just need to find it. And right now, that's proven to be a tall task. So this is where I'm at. I'm back. Winter season here in Indiana is settling in, and the train season is going to take full swing for me. So you'll see some updates coming along as I get progress done. I'm going to try to get maybe one every other week, one a week, depending on what kind of progress I get on the layout. So until the next video, I'm going to sign off right here. Good evening.